It's Phil Lindemann with your Krystal 93 News at 4. We are less than halfway into this 33-hour winter storm warning. Summit has been chilly but sunnier than expected until just about an hour ago. Down in North Denver and Boulder, it's been rainy, gray, and sloppy all day. Forecasters, though, still confident that heavy snow it's coming tonight, up to 22 inches at the tunnels, 6 to 7 inches down here in town and into Denver. New charges today in the child prostitution case against a local snowmaker. The man was in court when the judge learned there were 7 new charges of sexual exploitation filed just this morning, all of them tied to the same investigation. The suspect then went straight from his hearing to the jail where he turned himself in on these new charges. Hours later, he was back in court for a bond hearing, this time wearing jail scrubs. He could spend up to 3 years in jail on each of these 7 new charges. This morning's court appearance took less than 2 minutes for a young CDOT plow driver accused of causing a fatal crash near the tunnels. The suspect appeared with his attorney. He has not responded to multiple charges of reckless driving for losing control of his plow in January and smashing into a van with a girls' youth hockey team. The van driver that day was killed. Town of Dillon surveyed more than 200 residents over the past 8 months, and survey says economic development is the top priority by a long shot. More than half agree it is their number one priority, and they want action now, not more plans to keep on planning. Survey also says communication is good, but follow-through is great. Dillon locals will trust their elected officials only if they can deliver on promises, especially promises to reinvigorate the town core. Says one local, these things have been said before, make them a reality. Town council hearing these results and more right now with an expert from Keystone Policy Center. The folks of Summit County Coroner's Office are making state news for a first-of-its-kind support group hosted by the coroners themselves. It's known as Face the Morning, says Deputy Coroner Britt Leah. This group helps fill the gaps left by expensive therapy and more traditional support groups that simply do not exist in the high country. Facing the Morning has been a runaway success in its first year. Leah tells ColoradoTrust.org, coroners sometimes get a reputation for just picking up dead bodies, but we do this job because we love it and are passionate about it. May is Mental Health Awareness Month here in Summit, and feedback from this coroners group is now helping Building Hope develop suicide education material. Summit alone lost 16 people to suicide in the past 3 years. The coroner's office invites you to a presentation about what they do, including testimony from support group members. It's happening this Thursday, 5 to 6 at the North Branch Library in Silverthorne. Today, we are in the classroom with local members of the Colorado Teachers Union as they plead for your support.
My name is Kim Phipps. I teach math at Summit High School.
Almost every day, Mrs. Phipps sees the impact of Colorado's school funding shortage.
So I've worked here 18 years. We hire a new math teacher every year. We have cut sports that have never come back. And I just worry about if we have this increased lack of funding, if we're going to lose more.
One estimate from Summit Schools says that funding per pupil here in Summit is almost $3,900 shy of the national average. Now Mrs. Phipps and others are telling you to write your local lawmaker in support of Senate Bill 135. It would override Tabor and send money back to public schools.
We have an opportunity to do something about the lack of public education funding in Colorado so that we'll have the opportunity to vote on these public dollars without raising taxes this November.
Senate Bill 135 is moving now through the state capitol. Today it easily passed review with the House Appropriations Committee. Up next, it's a vote in the House. Thanks again for going in the classroom, proudly presented by Heavenly Times Hot Tubs and Billiards and Boost Oxygen for supporting education. In sports, tonight's Rockies game with the Mets is postponed for those wet conditions down in Denver. The two will play tomorrow instead. Tonight, the Avalanche face the Wild, hunting for a 2-0 lead in that second round of the playoffs. And in local sports, Summit High girls lacrosse playing in the opening round of the state tournament today up against Rampart at home. Phil Lindemann, Krystal 93 News.